to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. Yeah, we Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Rick flaring, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death. I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. When I open like Betty Wops and find to these circles that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders, trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry for spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness is really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like the mother guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying.
Scotty on the mic, pen scribbling plays. Zo in the zone, calling highlights and waves. Saturday night, late vibes, we staying awake. HBCU legends, every move they make. Gridiron dreams, under lights they gleam. Crowd roars electric, you can feel the beam. Past clashing, 808 stomping, marching bands hitting, stadium jumping. Late Readz, catch the plays, don't sleep. Breaking down the games, analysis deep. Late Readz, where the culture meets the beat. Every highlight, every heart, every feed. Late Readz, catch the plays, don't sleep. Breaking down the games, analysis deep. Late Readz, where the culture meets the beat. Every highlight, every heart, every feed. Drum major stepping, the rhythm don't miss. Halftime show, crowd moving like this. Zo got the stats, Scotty got the flow. Dropping gems and heat like a trap maestro. Running backs dashing, quarterbacks flashing. HBCU pride, the passion everlasting. Shimmering keys, late night haze. Gator sprint pass, drift through the maze. Games on the screen, stories untold. Legends in the making, the future unfolds. Late Readz, get your plays, don't sleep. Breaking down the games, analysis deep. Late Readz, where the culture meets the beat. Every highlight, every heart, every feed. Late Readz, get your plays, don't sleep. Breaking down the games, analysis deep. Late Readz, where the culture meets the beat. Every highlight, every heart, every feed.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Scotty, man, back with another one, man. Happy Friday. You already know, man. Listen, doing a little late reads, a little early morning. All right, listen, I know I messed up the poll. Got Alabama A&M twice. It don't fucking matter. You know who I'm talking about. Shit, goddamn vote. All right, goddamn, like, oh, we're gonna fix the poll. Fuck no, I'm not fixing the poll. You know who the freaking team is, all right? Stop playing with me, all right? Anyway, as you know, I can't do this show without my brother from another. Please give it up, my boy, Zo Phillips.
What's happening? What up, blood?
What up, blood? Hey, listen, yo, we came on screen before. We was like just talking off screen, and we was like, Mika, his girl came, and she's like, "Why y'all game banging?" And I was like, "Dang, we really are." Like, he got all red, I got all blue on. You know, City over here, Blood City over there. But you know what it is. That's just how. That's the back and forth. You know what I'm saying? That's the back and forth. You know what I'm saying?
Look, and like I told you, for all the Jigga City residents, we ain't got no hope to give once we cross state lines, baby. Hope is only for the fine Mississippians. We on our way.
All right, well, you know, it is them gangs. It is them gangs. All right. So we'll figure it all out. We're gonna get into it today. We got a lot to talk about. Zo gotta get on this roll, so we're gonna go get through it. Listen, let's talk about Zo locks. Talk about some of your locks, Zo, that you just like, hey man, you can book it, you can stamp it.
Listen, if I tell you a mosquito can pull a wagon, don't ask me no questions. You better hook his ass up.
Better hook it up.
Hook his ass up. Hey, y'all see it, man. I got the Golden Lions. They gonna have plenty of courage. No hope needed. They gonna beat the children of the corn. They gonna beat the children of the corn this weekend, man. Yes, all corn will be 0-4.
Can I say something real quick, Zo? How for me, I just look at it like how the mighty have fallen. Like this you have come a long way from going from SWAC East champions to back-to-back Celebration Bowl attendees to all this hype and hoopla to now you're on here talking about you can how Charles Barkley say you can guarantee.
Hey, don't we talk about Alcorn, he know what I'm saying. What else? Hey, terrible.
They terrible. That's that. But hey, you know, he got his guy though. That's all I know. He got his guy. That's what he said. He got his guy. But that's a mighty fall from grace. That's all I'm gonna say. That's a mighty long fall from grace, in my opinion. So hey.
Yeah, man, got UAPB on the win. Ain't no upset. On the win for their first conference opener. And Alcorn will be at the bottom of the West, you know, down there with Texas Southern after this weekend. Well, Texas Southern got valid, so we'll see. It's going to be a close game. We'll get to that later. But, man, yeah, Delaware State.
Delaware State.
Oh, no. Daddy, who's going to have the longest winning streak in the MEAC?
That team with the red and baby blue?
Delaware State got the longest win streak in the MEAC. Who would have thought? Who would have thought it, right?
Who would have thought it?
If we told you at any point of this season, Delaware State would have the longest winning streak in the MEAC. That's nuts enough. Story of another day. But now I'm gonna tell you, now this last one, whew, I had to do a couple of Hail Marys on it, but we're gonna roll with Vic this one last time. This one last time, dog. We rolling with Vic. If we don't get no action now, it is.
Oh yeah, you got to write him off. You got to write him all the way off.
I'm gonna tell you something. If he loses this game, bro, they probably won't win another game for the rest of the year. So, we're going with Norfolk State, man. I'm giving them hope, baby. I'm issuing our hope up there in Virginia, dog. Come on.
Passing it out. Who needs, you know how like when they walk around with the tracks, you know, witnessing, you know, who needs it? All right, Jesus, come to Jesus. All right, come to Jesus, your Lord and Savior. Have you heard about your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ? Have you heard about your Lord and Savior? Handing them out.
Man.
Handing them out. All right.
I tell you, if y'all lose this game, you're going to hold an L. It's going to be an L for the rest of the year.
Oh man, Vic, hey, listen, Vic can't lose this one. If he don't do nothing else right, he cannot lose this one. All right. Let's get into the keys of the game, some of the big matchups of the week. All right. Alabama A&M and Bethune-Cookman. I'll tell you one thing. I like this question. What is Vic's ceiling? I like that. Thank you, Leggett. Leggett.
Is that for this year or just overall in Norfolk?
That's a great question. That's a caveat. How about this? You specify your question, but I'm gonna just talk about this season. But you specify your question.
Okay.
But for this season,
Yeah, think long and hard.
yeah, I give them 2 conference wins, and the reason I give them 2 conference wins is because I don't think Morgan and Howard are really that good. I really don't. Like Morgan is great defensively, but they just can't score points to save their life, which has been their Achilles heel for the last 3 years under Damon Wilson. And I don't think Howard's good, man. I don't care what I just don't. I don't see it. I really don't see it with Howard this year. So I would give him 2 conference games because being realistic, that's the kicker, right? Like in the MEAC, you could go over and out of conference and run through your conference play of games and be in the Celebration Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So I give him 2 conference wins. However, he dictates the other stuff is for me, but I don't see him beating Delaware State. I damn sure don't see him beating NCCU, and I don't see them beating South Carolina State. Now, I will say this. They are trending upward offensively now that they've gone with Otto. But again, defensively, they haven't been able to stop a nosebleed. So I'm giving them 2 conference wins. What you got?
How many wins do they have right now? One, right?
1, Virginia State.
So this is why this game tomorrow is tantamount. Because if he doesn't win tomorrow, I'll look at it this way. Yes, they can beat Howard and Morgan State, but to me, Scotty, both of those games are still what I would consider to be a push. They can still go either way. Fair. So, yeah, they could possibly win those games, but Scotty, man, I got him with 1 conference win now.
Whoa!
Because I'm gonna tell you something. You just made a point. You just made a point of what you just stated, right? They have an offense, but they don't have a defense. Now, granted, Morgan State's defense can be offensive and still win.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
Morgan State defense can still be offensive and win. And so that's why I think they'll be hard pressed to win that game, right? Against Morgan State. You know, Howard, I mean, I'm with you. I don't think Howard is that good, but that's still a push. And I think that game is in Howard this year. So I'll be more advantageous to give them the Howard win by chance, but they either gonna win 1 or go over, bro.
I think offensively they're good enough to compete with any team. I think offensively they can compete with any team. It's just because again, you know how football is. You score, I score, you score. But if I'm able to stop you, and you can't stop me, that could just be the game. It could. I think Norfolk might be in a lot of shootouts to where they're living and dying off of Otto's arm, and they're not able to get any stops because I do think they have the best wide receivers in the MEAC with Jashawn Kendricks and Cam. I think they do got the best tandem in the MEAC, bar none. But again, they were supposed to be a run-heavy team with Kevon King. They haven't been able to get him going, and Otto's had a resurgence of being this leader of being able to distribute the ball, which I think they need to lean into more, right? Because Delaware State and this is the thing, South Carolina State, NCCU, and Del State are in a position to where they have quarterbacks that if they need to make plays, they can make plays, but we can run the ball, right? South Carolina State, Chris Mosley, Marquise Gillis, like they can run the ball whenever they want to because they're a run-dominant team. They're run-focused teams that have quarterbacks that can make plays. Like Walker Harris can make you a play. Reggie Stubblefield can make you a play. You know, Caden Bennett can make you a play. Otto is that guy as well, but you can't turn around. He hasn't been able to just turn around and hand off the ball and get 100 yards.
They're one-dimensional, basically.
They're one-dimensional. But I think, again, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No,
I think, a question. Go ahead.
I think in their one dimension, Otto is still top notch in what he does. If you put Otto on Dale State, I'm eyes closed picking them for the. That's how good Otto is to me. Like, he's a very good, decisive decision maker. He's mobile. He has mobility enough to get open and things like that. Caden Bennett is just a little too. He's just a little too up and down for me. I don't see the consistency that I can see from Otto. But what's your question, Zo?
I was going to ask you, do you even get the feeling, bro, of a culture changing or shifting in Norfolk?
Absolutely
It almost feels like there's a culture still of losing. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you. I agree.
I was going to add to your point. I was going to say, you know, granted, we know it's OJT, never been a head coach, so he's learning on the fly. We're going to give him a coupon on that, right? But I'm sorry, bro. One thing I'm going to ask a question on, and that is, I don't even see how you even got to the point of choosing a starting quarterback that you chose to have at the beginning of the season instead of Otto. I really, really don't. But see, that goes back to what I told you about ego. And I see something, I already fell in love with it. Forget what I see at practice or what it was. Because from what we see in the games, how in the hell did you not even go with Otto from the jump?
From the jump.
Because had you done so, you would have bare minimum wins.
This is a different team. You beating Towson. You beat Towson.
And you may even have a chance for a third, or even you're competing better. But now you got one win going into this game, and it's a must win on the non-conference slate. Because I'm telling you, he doesn't. You're 1-4. All that sizzle, it's gone.
Gone.
You don't even. There's no buzz. There's nothing shining. There's nothing off field. It's like, oh yeah, Michael Vick's the head coach.
Yeah,
it doesn't exist anymore. But yet you see it with Deshaun Jackson. You see what I'm saying? Which is what we said, because again, Vic is just a celebrity in name and stature. He's not an outgoing personality. So that's why I wanted to ask you, do you feel like there's a culture shift? It doesn't even feel like one.
It doesn't. And you're making a great point. And I think that's the point that not say former, but I think a lot of HBCU lifers say we've had NFL guys before, right? And to me, Vic is starting to fall in that slot of you're just an NFL guy, right? Because Deshaun Jackson has an energy and an electricity behind it. And what's so tough is it's like this, right? What I feel about, I'm about to go biblical on you, but what I feel about this is when it was a prophet in the Bible. I don't know if it's Elijah or Elisha, but I think it's Elijah. And he's going against the magicians, and he's like, is your God asleep? And he talks about, hey, put water on it, put a trail, do this, soak the wood, and then he just asks God, like, make it, like, consume it with fire, and he does. That to me is what Deshaun Jackson is. When you go to Delaware State, you're asking for every headache. You're asking to be in the wilderness. You're asking to not be thought about. You're asking to be hidden in the dark. You're asking for all the problems that you can have as a head coach. The constant culture of losing, the no attendance in the middle of nowhere. You're getting the worst of the worst. And all he did was walk in and completely 180 the whole culture in what he's doing. And that to me is what I'm just like, I'm so amazed by how it's different. It just feels different. And we said it from the jump in the press conference. It felt different.
I'm going to tell you why. Because there's one thing that Deshaun Jackson has is very similar to Deion Sanders, and it's one thing only. Deion Sanders will tell you, because he said it. I've heard he said it to me. Deion Sanders will tell you when he first got Jack State, no matter what it was or what it is, I'm the change. And that's why I asked that question, because that's what Deshaun Jackson is. Deshaun Jackson will tell you, I'm the change.
Yeah,
I am the change that's necessary.
The agent of change. Yep, the agent of change.
And so that's why, if you remember earlier, that's what we spoke to, right? It was like Vic is not selling the program. He's not embracing where he is. You don't even get a feel of anything in regards to, like, he's the head coach at Norfolk. To what you just said, Deshaun Jackson's like, I'm here. I'm the change agent. Everything I'm doing, Delaware State, I'm the change. And guess what? You see the culture shift at Delaware State. It's on social media. Delaware State, they had on them. There was nothing with social media. Delaware State.
It's popping.
But now now all the change. Even the game at the link. Who was pushing that? Vic wasn't saying anything about the game and link.
It was Deshaun on his podcast. It was like they were talking about, hey, we should do this at the link. 2 former Eagles, all that. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So again, he's basically telling you, I am the change. So as long as I'm here, I got the buy-in. I'm the rising tide that's going to lift. I'm going to bring in the boats, but I am the rising tide that's going to lift all the boats here at Delaware State, and you're not getting that at Norfolk.
And that to me is the excitement that you have with Delaware State, because that's why I think year 2. I'm so excited for the sequel.
Yeah.
You know, like year 2 is going to be bananas, because again, Zo, he can go to any recruit's house and say, look what I've done. And if I just had you, look what we could do. Even if he comes up short, I took a 1-11 team or 1-10 team. I've turned them into a 5-6 or 6-5 or 7-4 or whatever, 7-5, whatever. And we're on the cusp of changing everything. Now, I'm telling, man, listen.
I was about to say, and bear in mind, this season, forget how they finished. We know they finished 1-11, but go back to this season. Right before kickoff of the first game, where was Delaware State picked? Last. They were picked last. Where are they right now? They be probably tied with Central for the most wins in conference. So you see what I'm saying? So look at the trend. So again, and we both feel like they're going to finish great within the conference. I'm not going to sit and say that Delaware State is going to win it. I think they'll be in play to win it though, but they're going to be somewhere between 2 and 3. It's how I personally feel about Delaware State within the MEAC this year.
Which is a win year 1 in a, like you said with TC Taylor.
Yes.
7-4 is a win.
Yes.
As a first-year head coach that has never coached before.
Never. Yeah.
You can't beat that. And to me, if he clips one of the big dogs in that run, oh my God.
Pick last and you finish third. Like, for example, like even TC's first year, he wasn't picked dead last. You see what I'm saying? You look at even Jack State. Jack State was picked to finish third last year. You see what I'm saying? Third in the division, middle of the pack. I think like 5th overall in the SWAC, 4th or 5th overall. 5th or 6th overall in the SWAC. But this is different, bro. This is dead last. He's going to possibly finish third in conference. That's huge. Second or third. That's huge. Yeah. But again, that's now because again the game's got to get played, and if they do clip one of them, Scotty, they're going to be in play for first place. When have we ever seen a team pick finish last? Turn around and win the conference.
That'd be crazy. That would be epic. And I know, Deshaun Jackson isn't Chennis Berry to the sense of want to know, but the mindset, the culture and the mindset there is just different. It's just different. And again, Vic could take some notes. You can't. The thing you realize about young kids and even young adolescents and young adults, they can smell fake a mile away. They can smell fake and not like this ain't who you are. And to me, I just think Vic came in with the wrong energy. Like he came in with the wrong energy. So now if he tries to change it and flip it and script it, it's like this ain't you. You know what I'm saying? Like this ain't you. So he got to do something. I think if I'm Vic, I think he needs to make a change in his coordinators. Somebody on his coordinating staff has to be a buzz. It can't be some rinky dinks that you got from whomever, whatever. I think he needs to make a change at one of his coordinator positions to bring in somebody that has a little buzz that can add energy to the program that he doesn't have to do because he's not that guy. He's just not that guy.
I think Michael Vick needs to change his approach to who he is. I'm not saying that he's to be super vocal, but outside of him being Michael Vick, if a player comes, they don't sell the fact that he's Michael Vick. So like what you got as a player, you're not that's over and done with. Because none of the remnants of that is at Norfolk State. Because he doesn't even tap into that. You see what I'm saying? Deshaun Jackson, I'm gonna tell you this with the move. Deshaun Jackson reminds me so much, bro, of Fran Brown. There are a lot alike.
Oh, I love Fran.
There are a lot alike if you think about it. They are a lot alike. And look at what Fran's doing right now.
Yeah, at Syracuse, which hasn't been a football powerhouse since Donovan McNabb came through there. And I love the point that you're making, because I think you need more Fran Browns in HBCU.
Yep.
Because again, the Fran Browns that you're looking at, they're the Trey Olivers, they're the Deshaun Jacksons, that's their makeup. They're the Tremaine Jacksons. Like that, you need more Fran Browns in the HBCU space. And somebody said it's an indictment against the poor HBCU. The MEAC to me does not have poor coaching. That is not a MEAC issue. I do think in some instances it is a SWAC issue that they don't have really high IQ level coaching and coordinators. So I can agree with you on that instant, but I think if you had a Deshaun Jackson at a Southern, that's the stuff that's the type of energy you need at a Southern, at a Grambling. Like you need, because I remember when I first got into space, Smash would tell me, he said the SWAC isn't the SWAC without Grambling or Southern being at a high competitive level. And I just think you need some of those type of energy in those programs and infusing in that as well. So, but I think again, Delaware State, I know people might not like what I'm about to say. It is a mini sleeping giant. And the reason it's a mini sleeping giant is because of the money and the resources that they have behind them. And then and I kept saying it when he first touched down. So I said, he is in his area. There are people at Delaware State who are Eagles fans. There are people in Philadelphia that are Eagles fans. There are people in Washington. There's people in New York that are Eagles fans or Giants fans who know about Deshaun Jackson. So again, he's talking to senators and governors of Delaware State. You don't think they know him?
And Deshaun Jackson in name and stature is nowhere near Michael Vick, but he's still Deshaun Jackson, right? The thing is, he's advertising to who he is. Vick is not doing that.
He's not. And I'll say this, and we'll move on. If Michael Vick would have came in with the whole Michael Vick experience and had the media behind it and had the merchandise and had the pizzazz, now we're talking about a different Norfolk State. Now we're talking about an energized fan base. Now it wouldn't just be he's coming home. It's him doing a commercial with Allen Iverson about him coming home and him being the Hampton boys. Like you gotta really push it. And Vic didn't do that. He just it's horrible. The whole media thing at Norfolk is absolutely ass. Ross Gordon is bad. Whoever's the media committee. The press conference said all you needed to see about Vic and his time at Norfolk State. The press conference is the representation of everything at Norfolk State. It was all ass. Ross Gordon's ass. The press conference ass. Michael Vick's coaching is not to the level.
Let me say this too. The last comment. Somebody said you like an extroverted type of coach. That's not true. We're not even. We said several times. We're not saying that Michael Vick needs to be extroverted. I just sit here and say that he can be true to himself. Because then you're actually trying to put a round peg in a square, a square in a round hole. You can't do it. We're saying that you can still be not a recluse, but you don't have to be extroverted. You can be true to yourself, but you still need to advertise to who you are. Remember, you're the CEO, the face of a company. You can sit here, so you can have it both ways. We can't sit here and say, "Oh, Michael Vick is our coach," but then we don't play and string the fact that Michael Vick is the coach.
Yeah.
And he has to do that. He, like Scotty said, he has to use the build rapport, basically saying that, this is the Michael Vick experience here at Norfolk. If you're not doing that, you're just Michael Vick in name only. Yeah. And that's what we're getting. And look at the
results. Now again, he's got year 2, but he needs to do a full rebrand. He just has to. Like in the offseason, he has to be more. Again, like you said, he doesn't have to be outgoing to the public, but he has to be outgoing in the media. Like what I mean by that is the social media, right? Like doing videos of Michael, all that. And he can go back into his shell of a world as a coach, but social media wise, he has to be extroverted because that's how you sell the program. That just is what it is. But we'll get back into it. Alabama A&M, Bethune-Cookman, and I wrestled with this one. I did. And because I do think Bethune is better. Malik Huggins is different. Okay, that kid is different. Cam Ransom has come on late from where he was last year. He's gotten more comfortable. My issue with, I think this would have been an A&M lock for me if the defense was better. If A&M's defense was just a little bit better, this would have, I wouldn't have had to wrestle with it. But I do believe Quad Brown comes back for this game. I do think they put up points, and I'm really excited to see what both teams put on the field. What you guys know?
I'm right in line with you. Actually, I got A&M win this game, but I think it's going to be a back and forth high scoring affair. When I mean high scoring, I think most people think 40s and 50s high scoring. No, if two teams are both itching at 30, that's a high score game. When you talk about
both high score game. Yeah,
I think, bro, it's a recipe. Believe it or not, man, this game is a recipe for Bethune-Cookman to win with the way they play offense, because Alabama A&M defense is so bad, right? But I just think Quad Brown is going to be the X factor for A&M winning this game, and that's why I'm giving them the nod in this game. But I could easily see this being like a 31-28 game. You know what I mean? Not necessarily that close. I forgot what the score I picked. I went with
I got you.
30. I went 38-28. I went 38-28. But and a 10-point win. I think Alabama A&M actually gets another touchdown late to actually pull away. But yeah, man, I think I like what Bethune-Cookman does on offense. I like what they're doing. But the game's at home, and they've been okay, offensively this year. Being at home, I think this is their first home game, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or
second. Okay. They had Edward Waters.
Okay. And so they could be looking to start, say a type of winning streak or whatever the case may be, saying with this at home. And it's a conference opener. Every team, no matter who we think of right now, even Valley, everybody's conference opener is going to be tough because everybody's 0-0 for the most part. But Quad Brown's the X factor for Alabama A&M in this game, so I got him with this. But A&M defense with a Bethune-Cookman offense that can move the ball, that's a powder keg for, what I'm saying, for something to happen for Bethune-Cookman. But got A&M pulling away because of Quad Brown.
If it rains, of course the score is going to be different. If it rains, yeah, they said it won't rain. It's going to rain all the way until 7 o'clock. So if it's raining in the forecast, this score is going to be a lot different. It would be different. But I know I said, okay, I think offensively, A&M has the better offensive staff. Like the scheme, the schematics, I think they can hit you in a numerous amount of ways. And when I went back and watched the Edward Waters game, Dooley did some things. They just couldn't hit on it. That were available, that were open. They just didn't hit on them. I think Quad hits on it. Now, again, he is coming off a high ankle sprain. He's got 2 weeks off. Hopefully he needs that ankle to be 100% because they're going to need Superman Quad Brown. If this defense does not wake up as the season goes along, they're going to always consistently need a Superman effort from Brown. But I think they have a chance to, if everything is good. If it rains, I would say 28-17. I would say something like that, 28-17 if it rains. But if it's a clear sky and it's cloudy with no rain, I can see them going for big numbers. I can see them really going for big numbers. So it's gonna be as they say, a barn burner. But A&M, to me, A&M needs to start off fast as they always have been. They've been a fast starting team. Even against Arkansas, they scored first. Alcorn, they scored first. They got to keep that. Tennessee State, I believe they scored first as well. They got to keep that mantra going because I'm not saying they're not a team that can't come back from behind because they did against Tennessee State. But what I will say is that the quicker they get out, the more pressure you put on Ransom. And this offense to have to keep up with you. And also, you got to give A&M multiples of credit. They're a great second half adjustment team. They did it against Tennessee State, shut them out in the rest of the second half. So I'm curious to see what it looks like going forward with Quad Brown and A&M. All right, next up. The Tremaine Jacksons and them Grambling State Tigers. Zo, what you got on it?
All right, man. State Fair Classic, man. It's a game been played for a long, long time, bro. In Dallas, halfway point between both schools. Grambling, bro. Since we talking, Grambling has played Prairie View more than anybody else in this conference. Right? They played Prairie View 78 times. 54, 24, and 1. And Prairie View has had their greatest success against Grambling in these last few years. So actually, it was way more futile than that. True story. And we've seen some things from Prairie View, but I'm gonna say this: Grambling has lucked out against Kentucky State. They should have lost that game. Grambling squeaked out a win against East Texas A&M. But Scott is Prairie View likes to throw the ball a lot. Prairie View is susceptible to turnovers. It's the one thing that Grambling does: generate turnovers on defense.
They do.
I think T-Set will be the X factor in this game. I think T-Set with his legs will cause for a W in the State Fair Classic, and Grambling will extend that thing to 55 wins. I got Grambling, man, in this game. Close.
Give me some keys to Grambling wins if what?
Grambling wins if T-Set runs for 75 yards or more. And the one thing that Grambling is going to do, because they've done it every game, is generate turnovers on defense. And Prairie View is susceptible to turnovers. That's a recipe to lose. I think also if T-Set runs for 75 yards and Grambling wins the turnover battle, it's going to be imperative because their defense, they haven't really shown that great of a pass rush. They've been okay. They have to blitz mostly. And they haven't really had a lot of 3 and outs, but they are opportunistic. But their calling card is generate turnovers. It's what they do. If they win a turnover battle and T-Set can run for 75 or more yards, Grambling will win this game.
Okay. I'm going differently. I'm going Prairie View. And I just looked at, I went back and watched some of the Grambling games, and what was the trending factor was they can't stop the run. They cannot stop the run. And I think there's only a few teams that run the ball with the consistency and the vigor that you want against a team like a Grambling, which would be Jackson State, Alabama State, and Jermaine Jackson. Like, those are the only 3 teams that really run the ball with success and run it in multiple different ways. And I think they really found something with the new quarterback that they have, as he's just as dynamic as the McDowell kid, and it's another running back that they have. I like both of those guys as well as the QB. The thing for me is can they consistently make throws? That is going to be the kicker for Jermaine Jackson's team, is can you make throws when you need to throw the ball? But I think Grambling's offense, Bingman, thank you so much, Isaiah, Bingman and McDowell. I like Jermaine in this game. I like Jermaine's coaching staff in this game. I think they're going to come up with a good scheme to keep T-Set in containment, because you can't let him really get loose on you. And you got to make T-Set beat you with passing. He's very inconsistent with passing. He's very one-dimensional. He locks in on guys. You got to make him beat you. I'm not saying he's a Jacoby and Morgan, but he's in that ballpark of just being like, you're good, but you're not great. But I think T-Set's legs makes him better because of him being a dynamic athlete the way he is. But I think Jermaine comes in here. They have a great scheme. I think they run the hell out of this ball against Grambling, and they take advantage of their opportunities and put the game away. Because, again, I'm not saying T-Set doesn't have passing touchdowns. I'm just saying he's limited. You can still be limited with passing touchdowns like that. What are you saying? Well, come on, man. I don't think Grambling's D-line is that good, if I'm being honest. You know what I'm saying? I do think their corners are really good. But their D-line isn't all world because, again, they've been ran on a lot.
And that's why that's why they blitz more than everybody else.
Because they gotta generate pressure. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I'm curious to see what this game looks like. I think what bothers me is you're correct. PV is susceptible for dumb turnovers, really bad turnovers. And that feeds into what Grambling does because they capitalize off turnovers. They come back in games off turnovers. So if you don't protect the ball, you could let Grambling linger around and pull a game out. And that's why you have to score 27-24 because it could be 20-24. You turn the ball over and now they're going for a last-second touchdown to win the game.
Also, if you look to the this season so far and all of last year, even though Grambling wasn't good last year, the one thing that they did last season was lead the conference in turnovers, generating turnovers by a nice wide margin at that. And this team fights, they scrap, and they're going for it. Literally, probably too much, to their own detriment sometimes. But they go for it. But they got a damn good success rate. So the main thing in this game, in a rivalry, neutral site field, neutral site location, man, it's gonna be packed, bro. And again, I think T-Set more so than Prairie View. I think T-Set has big game moxie. I really do. They do leave a lot to be desired. We're gonna keep it a buck here, but I'm a fan of T-Set. I'm not gonna even try to hide it. I think the kid got some moxie. They leave a lot on the field. They really do. There's a lot of plays left on the field from Grambling. Even the Kentucky State game, you know what I'm saying? They should have actually won that by a bigger margin. The same thing with the East Texas A&M game. There's a lot left on the field from them, but T-Set is overthrown some guys, underthrown some guys, but he has the skill set. I just think, man, he has the moxie. And again, I saw somebody say, the coach is not going to run that much. No, the runs that I'm talking about aren't designed runs.
The ones that aren't designed. They're just.
That's why I'm saying it because I think those types of runs, Scotty, too. I'm talking about third down to keep drives going. You see what I'm saying?
3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6. Those runs, and they're backbreakers. That everything's locked up, and then it's the one time you don't have the spy on him, and he gets loose and gets away from you. Listen, as much as I do commend T-Set, he's a gamer. And at the end of the day, you want a gamer as the quarterback because at the end of the day, he's not going to shrink in the big moment. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter what the game was between, the first and the third quarter, but T-Set's one of those guys, if the game is close in the fourth, you can trust me to bring it home. Mm-hmm. And that's what you don't need if you're Tremaine, right? You need to have a big enough margin and a confident running attack to where you keep him on the sideline and you're churning this clock out, one down at a time. So that's my premise on it. And that's why I love the quarterback that they're using because he is just as dynamic. I'm talking about 6'3", 6'4", 215, 220, and can run like a gazelle, okay? But can't throw to save his life.
And I'm going to say this, close game, coming down the stretch, it favors Grambling. It really does. PV did have the last second win against Texas Southern, which could possibly bode well for them. But man, just on the defense, if Prairie View's offense on the field, game on the line, man, it's gonna be hard not to sit there and think Grambling gonna come up with something. I mean, because they've done it repeatedly on the defensive side of the ball. So,
and again, lastly, they say like those moments build character because when you get in those moments, you're built for those moments. Overtime, last second stuff, it doesn't bode well because people will say, you can't keep having 9 lives to pull these games out. But you could easily be a Southern of last year where that's how all their games came about. Like those last minute weird factors that happened to where they pulled out the dub. And you're like, come on, man, like really? Like, y'all are not even that talented, but they just find a way to win. So it is what it is. But I got the Tremaine Jacksons. Hopefully they pull it out for me going forward. All right. You know what time it is. It's that Andrew Buddy against FAM.
Bro, look. Now, you got ahead on the Alabama A&M game. I already told you. I went back and forth on this one.
Yeah.
Now, just so you guys know, I picked Alabama State. So I'm not questioning that. I picked Alabama State to win this game, right? They've looked, if we just take the eye test, right, we're pretty much going to roll with Alabama State. I think the majority of all of us would agree to that outside of Tallahassee, right? But I wrestle with picking Alabama State. I know you may say, wow, that sounds crazy. You're so sure. I say that because the game is at Bragg. And FAMU, historically and notoriously, are really, really tough at home. I would venture the only team that got really 2 consecutive wins in Bragg is Jackson State. You really don't have that often. They win at home, good, bad, or indifferent, right? And so that's my thing. That was my hang up. I'm just keeping it real. I got Alabama State by far away in this game. But man, I just gotta tell you, FAMU at home was a different thing, even when they're bad. Yes, I understand that was before Willie too. Their football history didn't start with Willie Simmons. How about I say Willie Jackson? With Willie Simmons. They were tough at home beforehand. You know what I'm saying? Just historically, they are a powerhouse at home. And so even this, Scotty, I would, even going back to the SIAC days, I would venture you to figure out how many times Alabama State has won a game in Bragg. You can count it on one hand. So that plays into something. Just like I told you about, Jackson State, House of Horrors on the road is Grambling. The same thing for Alabama State playing FAMU at Bragg. It really, really is. For a lot of other teams too. So, we'll see, man. We'll see.
All right, hit me with a FAMU wins if.
FAMU wins if 2 things. I'm being serious when I say this. FAMU wins if Andrew just has a horrible day at the office. Turnovers, obviously, because that's going to be the one caveat to help the other team.
Yeah.
But if they're able to contain him on the run and pretty much stop them running the ball and force them to pass, because to me, the strength of FAMU's defense is their backfield. I think they have the DBs to match up with Alabama State's receivers. But the thing is, Andrew is such an X factor running the ball, and plus Alabama State can run the ball. I like the running back they got. It can run the ball too. So I think, I'm gonna say this: if Andrew just has a bad day at the office, crazy turnovers, or they're horrible on third down getting off the field, I think that lends to it. Because again, the main thing is, as bad as FAMU has been on offense, being at home in this particular game, they may get up for it. My other thing would be just if Andrew got hurt. That's why I was laughing, because I'm like, I don't want to say that, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
unless he gets hurt, they have some type of crazy injury on the offensive side of the ball. Because Alabama State defense, to me, with 8 new starters, is just they haven't cut the mustard either. Which, man, that Mad City Classic is gonna be crazy. 2 bad defenses and 2 good offenses. It's gonna be
it might be 40 easy on both.
Yeah, but the thing is, and like I said, I'm rolling with State. You know what I'm saying? But it wouldn't surprise me if FAMU pulled it out at home in a close game.
Okay, so let me tell y'all. Let me go back to go forward. So last night I couldn't sleep. Woke up at like 2:15, and I just was like, I felt like I haven't really done my. You say you too?
I couldn't sleep that night either.
Couldn't sleep. So I felt like I haven't really been doing my due diligence and like studying the game this year, right? So I went back and watched Alabama State versus Southern. Went back and watched Jackson versus Hampton and Southern Miss. Went back and watched Alabama State against Miles. I know Andrew doesn't have any interceptions, but Miles should have had at least 2. Easily should have had 2. I mean, fell in the guy's arms, he dropped them. Some tip balls, no diddy. What I saw from the Southern and Alabama State game is that if it wasn't for the turnovers, that's a different game. It's a very different game. That score does not dictate how Southern had that offense corralled but they were given short fields constantly, and they capitalized on it. If Southern doesn't have McCoy, I think that game is a little bit more competitive. Alabama State probably pulls it out, but it's not what the score indicates. I watched Miles, and I like some of the stuff that they do.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I'm going with Alabama State in this game is because the talent that Alabama State has is legit. AJ Harrell, DeJet, Jalen. They got a great lineup of receivers and the running backs with Liggins and Holtzclaw and Drew. Like, they can go toe for toe. The thing that is bothering me is I'm not seeing the same type of play calling that I saw at UAPB that I was really excited for. That's the thing that I'm a little like, I'm just a little right? Mm-hmm. I think they had some great screen plays called at UAB. At Southern. At Southern they had some really, really good screens called. I was like, oh, that's a really good screenplay. And at Miles, they had a couple plays that I thought were really designed really well, but it's still Miles, right? So I think if I'm Alabama State, if you go look at that Albany State game, you could take a lot of cues from what they did, because they schemed. They just straight out schemed FAMU to score offensively, and they picked on one corner who is not as good as what Alabama State has. Mm-hmm. I think Alabama State's more talented. I think Alabama State loses with bad play calling, with really vanilla style play calling. That's how they lose this game. I think Andrew can't have a first half like he did against Southern. He can't have that, where he just missed a lot of passes. I'm talking about easy touchdowns, stuff that he has to make. If you're telling me you're an elite quarterback, you got to make those throws. He can't miss those at Bragg, because you might not have another opportunity on the road to do that. At Southern, Southern just they're not into it. You get what I'm saying? Like, they're kind of out on their team, so the crowd wasn't really into it, and you had a second half to get yourself back together. They got to come out fast. They got to silence that Bragg crowd. I got Bama State winning it, but I got it being a lot closer than I would like. It was either 31-21 or 31-24. Yeah, but I do think they put up 31. But
yeah, I got a question for you though. I got a question for you. What do you think FAMU's approach on offense needs to be for this game? Considering what you've seen thus far.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. I think what FAMU, because I'm trying to think about the quarterback, RJ Johnson, and they have to do a lot of rub routes, like a lot of pick routes, because Bama State plays a lot of man, right? RPO, pick routes, rub routes. You gotta get easy. You gotta get it easy for RJ so he can see it, because he doesn't do progressions very well. Mm-hmm. So you have to scheme it up to where, hey, I'm doing this route combination. If you got to put some with RJ Johnson, you have to put somebody in conflict every time, because he has to read it as, okay, if this linebacker drops back, I hit the drag. If this linebacker comes up, I hit the dig over top. He has to have it like that, to where it's an easy 1-2 read, and then I get a check down. That's how I would do it. You gotta find somebody to put somebody in conflict, and I think that works for them. Rub routes, easy, quick completion screens, now routes, just quick out, because again, FAMU has never been deployed of speed, so you just need the guys to get the ball in their hand and let them do what they do. But I would like to see a little bit more of what Bama State did against UAB. I would really like to see a lot more of that, more spread against Southern. And I know why they did it. They did like a pistol power to where Creech, their fullback, was always off tackle. So they had enough people to block if they went to a 5-man front, because that 5-man front was killing them in the beginning. And then the second half, I don't understand why Southern went away from it. Because they got their running game going, so it didn't make any sense. And you had them stifled for the whole first half. But yeah, I think it's going to be a good one. I'll tell you this, though. If Cozy loses this game, you can hang it up. He's done, bro. You can hang it up. He's gone. He's gone. He's fired. So I'm again, watch party on the channel, 3:00 tomorrow here, Alabama State. FAMU at 3, and then I'm doing a watch party for Jackson in Southern coming up next. And you know,
goddamn,
what's next?
Man,
Jackson. And so, hey, you and TC, you and your classmate, y'all matching, man. Look at that.
Oh man, look here. But y'all know TC stands for the coach. Listen, man, SU Hate Week. We got something for you beige bastards this week. Let me tell you. Get to Southern this evening. You're going to be down in Red Stick, man. Y'all come holler at me. I'm going to post up at Chimes for a little while. I used to live in Baton Rouge. I don't know if I told you that. I used to live in Baton Rouge.
Yeah. You said that. Yeah.
Man, look, post up at Chimes for a minute. Be on to y'all. Y'all will catch me tonight. I'm at the Battle of the Bands. You know what I'm saying? Me and the Miss will be out there. But look, man. Jackson ain't no issue. I'm gonna tell you how this thing got heated. Jack State and Southern wasn't always a rivalry. It was, nice little band rivalry for a minute, but it got heated, man, because back when the SWAC was 7 teams, Jack State went undefeated in conference play, man, 4.5 years. Didn't lose nobody for 4.5 years. And man,
can you give us a year range, 60s, 50s, 40s?
Oh no, 70s? This was in the 80s. Okay,
80s. Okay.
This was in the 80s. Actually came to Jack. We actually scheduled Southern for homecoming. Homecoming, dog, in 1989.
Oh, I was born.
Southern had, and Southern was kind of like what they are right now. Sorry, little dude, Jared Kimball was the head coach. And they came and beat Jackson State for homecoming. So Southern had brought all these fans to Jackson, and they snapped our damn winning streak. And man, Jacksonians didn't like that. We didn't like that at all. So we proceeded the very next year in 1990, went down there and put 42-0 at the half. And then, man, we beat the brakes off of them. They cut the team brake lines, Scotty. We had to wait to even get back to Jackson. I'm dead serious, too. They cut the football team brake lines. I'm dead serious. That's a real thing that happened, dog. And let me tell you, that's when the SWAC was the SWAC, man. All you youngers don't even know who Mama Jag is. Like a crazy Southern fan was at every game on the front row. Mama Jag, huge big time Southern fan. She's gone to glory, man. Rest in peace of Mama Jag. But those who know, y'all know. And this was when Muffle was Muffle. Bro. And so yeah, man, look, we played 71 times. So because people gonna be lying. Southern leads this series by 1 game. All right. 1 game. Technically, Jackson State leads the series because Southern had to forfeit 2 games, but we go by games on the field. So Southern leads the series by 1 game. Damn it, we're going to tie it up tomorrow. Let me tell you, we ain't going to Louisiana with no hope. I'm just going to tell you that now. Bro, let me tell you something, because, I kind of seen some things this week.
Yeah, let's talk about the things that you saw where, let me ask you, is it something? Is this something or nothing? Is this something or nothing?
We're gonna make it something. Let me rephrase that. We done made it something.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. I sent you a little text. Look at your text.
Yeah, I got you. I'm gonna pull it up for you.
So let me tell you. So we done made it something. But this right here is crazy. I've heard some people say, well, what else are you supposed to say? I was like, you don't have to do the opposite of that. The thing is, the reason why it's lunacy is because you say the defense, you're not impressed. But, well, first off, are you impressed with your defense? Because your defense is giving up 36 points a game. Jackson defense is giving up 17. So, are you impressed with your defense? Please say, yeah, that's my teammate. Not see how you put your foot in your mouth. Your defense give up 36 points a game. We give up 17, but you're not impressed. Okay, I get it. That's your team. I even get that you want to ride with your team. It's best to be thought of a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. Why would you sit here and say you're not impressed? Just say, hey, man, we're looking forward to. You know what? I can even respect this, Scotty. I don't want to talk about it. We're going to see them Saturday.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Guess what? I even like this shit talking. But to sit here and say you're not impressed, that's cap. And then my thing is, I'm like, what he tried to say, y'all, was he impressed with his own numbers. That's what he was trying to say. Dude averaging like 2 catches a game, like 10 yards. They got 1 touchdown in five games. Like, come on. And somebody said, well, they had inconsistent quarterback play. Well, he ain't impressed with his quarterback. He ain't impressed with his coach. He ain't impressed with his offense. He ain't impressed with his goddamn defense. I mean, he ain't impressed with Jag Nation because they ain't really even come to the game. So what exactly is he impressed with? I tell you what, you're going to be impressed with that L. We're going to pull on that ass tomorrow night because we're coming to monkey stomp their ass tomorrow.
I like what Odell said. What about the same team comment?
From who? Jackson and Southern? They are the same team.
No, he was, when the D coordinator, Terenzo Quinn, he said the same thing.
That's what I'm saying. They are the same team. I mean, what's their record?
What's their record? I think 1-3, 1-2.
Look, bro, they a bad team, bro. Look like a duck, crack like a duck. It ain't no damn mongoose.
I mean, right, let me play your clip real quick. Here you go. Let me blow this up.
What is it like playing against Jackson State?
I hate Jackson. I'm gonna be honest. It's gonna sound crazy. I don't like losing at all, but I'd rather lose to Grambling than lose to Jackson. They fed cocky, love-hate relationship with Graham, and then with Jackson, I can't stand them. I'm not gonna lie.
What is it like playing against Jackson State?
I hate.
Listen, and this, to me, I love it. Like that type of stuff, because that's what it's about, right? I hate it. Like, I hate playing against Jackson. Like, I love it. I hate Jackson State. I don't like them or whatever. I think all that's in the air of a rivalry. Again, if Darren would have got up there and said, I don't care about their defense, I don't care about I hate Jackson State, I would have been perfectly fine with that.
I would have said nothing.
That's a rivalry. I'm cool with that.
Guess what? Even if he decided to go left and talk shit, I love it too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even have anything to say, Scotty. Because guess what? I don't like them bastards either. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. I respect it. But when you say not impressed, dog, come on, man. That's cap. That's cap, dog. He knows.
Okay. So let me say this. So I went back. I watched Southern against Fresno State. I watched Southern against Alabama State. And I wanted to see I just wanted to see what this team was about. I'll say this. Like I said, I went back and watched Jackson against Hampton. I watched Jackson against Southern Miss as well. Darren Morris is not a bad receiver. Like, he's really dynamic. Like, I watched him against Alabama State. I watched him against Fresno State. He's really dynamic. I mean, if he didn't have Cam McCoy, I could see his numbers being better. Because Cam McCoy and that offensive coordinator that's not a good match. It's just not. That's just what it is. Cam Jefferson is also a really good receiver as well. And what I realize is this: if the strength of Jackson's team is its front seven, the secondary I like BJ Washington, but the secondary is not that good. So if you're saying not impressed, I get it. But what gets people caught up is Terenzo Quinn covers a lot of the bumps and bruises with his scheme. If I'm Southern in this game, and I'm just talking straight football with you right now, just talking straight football. If I'm Southern in this game, I move Darren Morris to the slot and I have him attack the linebackers because that's their weakness. Their linebackers can play the run really well, but they cannot cover in space. They are not good at covering in space. That is the best. Getting behind them in their zone coverages and making them having to drop and get where that is the weakness of this team. And you have to come up with plays and a scheme to make that effective, if you go watch the Tuskegee game, Harry Williams did a lot of things to get that Jackson State eye discipline moving because they are very see ball, go get ball. They remind me a lot of Jackson when Dion was there, when y'all got caught with the Prairie View play in the SWAC championship when Dooley did the pass out to the right and then the double pass. They're very aggressive. They get downhill, and you can overplay to their aggressiveness in how you set things up. You got to block them like that. The thing about Jackson is that front seven coming downhill is a problem. What they lack in coverage, they make up full speed and tackling. Because them Bamas, Pulliam, Taylor, Quincy, all them Bamas, they like to hit. They just like to hit. That's just what they do. They will come up and the DBs as well. Everybody can tackle on this team. You rarely see missed tackles, and if they do miss, it goes for a big play. Breaking the game down even further because I really wanted to get the football aspect. The quarterback that they have, this new guy, he could be a problem for Jackson. And the reason why is because he throws it really quick. He has a very quick release. He throws with really good anticipation. And if you watch him against Fresno State, he did really well against the short routes. I think if you combine that with some double moves, I think they can find some advantages against this Jackson State defense. Again, it comes down to the play calling. I like Ashton. They have to win the first down. They have to win first down. They cannot be behind the chains. They can't. If you get behind the chains, you're just asking for a lot, right? You got to win first down. You got to keep them 2nd and 8s to 3rd and manageables and things like that. But I think with the switch of quarterback, I think with a week off, I think this game, after I went back and watched Southern with Cam Jefferson and Darian Morris, I think this game with Trey Holly, I think this game is going to be a little bit more competitive than I thought it would be. I had it 31-21. I still got Jackson State winning because I just think they're the better team. But I'm going to say this. I don't trust any offensive mind on that staff. That's include Fred McNair. I would be doing a disservice if I told you I think they're going to come prepared offensively. But do I think that they can do some things to get Jackson off kilter a little bit? I do believe so. And do I think Darian Morris can cause problems for you guys? I do believe so. Now, again, I didn't see Ashton throw any deep balls. No, did he? Against Fresno State. He didn't really throw the ball past 10 yards a lot. So I don't know that. I haven't seen that part of his game to see if he can take advantage of it because, Hampton took advantage of it a couple times. Southern Miss took advantage of it going deep on you guys a couple times. Tuskegee took a chance on going deep on you guys a couple times, and it was open. They just missed. So, but I think if I'm a Southern fan, I'm optimistic of being competitive, but I shouldn't be optimistic on winning. I think the only way they win this game, and I'm sorry to ramble, I just want to really – the only way they win this game is if you take the Hampton approach and you blitz Morgan every single play. Like, if you go back and watch that Hampton game, they blitzed Morgan every single play, but do you have the corners to back it up? And I don't know if you do, because Hampton did. I saw y'all against Fresno State. I'm talking about a dude in cover 0. He looking this way, the ball go behind him, the dude catch it. I said, oh my God, this is just absolutely atrocious, right? But yeah, you gotta bring the pressure to Morgan. You can't have him sit back there and be comfortable and do what they do. But that's my 2 cents. What you guys on?
I was gonna add, I hope Southern blitzes a whole lot this game.
They're gonna need to.
I hope they do. Jack State is going to I would just say Jack State is going to look the part tomorrow. Also, when it's the same sort of team, and most of what you said in your soliloquy just then was mostly on offense. You didn't touch defense. And here's the thing: we know we're going to be able to run the ball. They won't be able to contain it. We'll have success running the ball, and they know that. We all know that. But I also tell you this: go look for the past 3 years, because they haven't changed much from center and guard. Jeremiah, go look at what Jeremiah did against Southern last year and the year before that. And same guys up front, right? Jeremiah's going to do Jeremiah's going to do what Jeremiah's going to do. Then Timon Wells is going to have a breakout game tomorrow. That's the other defensive tackle.
I like 11. I really like 11. I like
John Brown. When you look at I think Quincy's going to have a huge game tomorrow. But just speaking on the offensive side of the ball too for Jackson State, being that we run, we'll be able to neutralize Kelby Givens because I can tell you right now they're going to run at him. They're going to run at him for a good little while. What they do, but I hope they blitz because, like I said, it's going to be a different Jackson State team tomorrow.
I think you have to blitz. Because if you can't generate pressure with 4, you got to blitz. If you can't generate pressure with 5, you got to blitz. You got to again.
No, my bad. I was saying it is Carmelo Jones. Oh, I have said John Brown. That's my bad. It is Carmelo Jones.
Yeah, 11 is nice. You gotta blitz because, and even when Hampton blitzed, they got gassed a couple times on the run. What they would do, they would mug up in the front, and they would have like a DB, like a small linebacker, like literally right on top of the center, and he would blitz, and then the center would just like wall them off, and they really, I was like, oh, that ain't no help. But they did some corner blitzes, they did some dog blitzes. You gotta bring pressure. You got to, because again, I gotta stop your feet in the backfield for you can't get these running backs. You can't get these running backs like going, like their momentum cannot be generating going forward because it's going to be tough to get them going because they're good in space. All of them, Terrell, Ahmad, like they're really good in space. Like they'll make you miss and they'll get up. I think it was a play against Hampton. They blocked, everybody blocked down. It was 1-on-1 with the DB. The light-skinned boy, sat him down. Yeah, he sat him down and went to and almost went to the crib. Like you can't, that's the stuff you can't miss. You cannot miss, and that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. You got to bring the pressure, so you make them stop their feet in the background or make them make a move earlier than what they want, and then you have to rally. Because again, I'm going to say this about this Jackson State team. It's the same thing I said about Houston. It's the same thing I said about James Houston. When if you don't want to win the game, don't block James Houston. If you don't want to win the game, let them run wild on you. You got to stop the run. You got to let Jacoby and Morgan make plays. You have to make Jacoby and Morgan make plays. You have to make Jacoby and Morgan make plays. If I'm the defensive coordinator, I'm not as old as him, clearly, but if I'm the defensive coordinator at Southern, we have to stop the run. We have to stop the run, because if you do not stop the run and you allow Jacoby and Morgan to just turn around and do this, play action, tight end, play action Fortillion, play action Shamar, play action, you're not going. It's whatever score you see Zo got, that's what's going to be the score.
So the thing is tomorrow, because we really haven't heard his name. You haven't heard much of Travis Terrell this season.
No, you haven't.
So again, I expect the big game for Travis Terrell tomorrow. I expect, because Southern's going to punt to him, I expect Travis Terrell to have a good punt return tomorrow. I expect Dupree to have a big game tomorrow. Jacoby is going to have his actual best game, breakout game tomorrow against Southern. What does that look like? No, it's not going to be a 300-yard game. Is he capable? Sure. But again, I say this. Jacobin is averaging like about 160 yards a game, around that for the season, right? So what's a good number? If Jacobin can get another 90 yards, you know you're in trouble. Because if Jacobin gets 225 yards, bro,
that's a bad day. It's a bad day for you.
You know it's a bad day. Also because
either you're behind, or he's got some big gashes. Like, like Nathan took a slant and took it to the crib. You get what I'm saying? Like some big gashes like that. Because the attempts are not going to go up, but I do think the big plays, they go up.
So, and things just are those other completions, and the plays are there. Just like I spoke about with T-Set. The plays are there, just getting it. And a lot of Jacobin's issues, he's not really even under pressure on some of these throws. They're just overthrown balls, just inaccuracy. But the thing was, some people saying, I just don't see it. Well, the thing is, you've seen it before. It was not like he only had one good game last year. His problem has been consistency. But what's a good element? It comes in light blue and gold. It comes in light blue and gold. So, I mean, look, it's going to be a beautiful thing because, hey, man, the last time we were in Baton Rouge, bro, Jason Brown had a good game against Southern. And we ran the ball really, really well. I mean, it was domination. It's going to be much of the same tomorrow. I mean, TC has yet to lose to Southern. No need to stop there now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, TC's never lost to Southern. No need to stop now. So we're going to go ahead and seal. I think with that score, I don't think Gray is going to like TC much after that game, but we're going to go ahead and seal his fate. So y'all can go ahead and get everything ready for U-Haul and everything else to make our mind that he's going to go. Need to be sending Roman Banks out. Bro, did you see the form that came out, man? Somebody posted about all the different salaries in the athletic department in Southern. Did you see that?
No.
Bro, Roman Banks getting like $360 a year.
What?
Man, yes, bro.
He is robbing Bamas.
Bro, he's getting like $340 or $360 a year, bro.
That's
straight up. I saw it yesterday. I'm dead serious.
That's
yes,
crazy.
bro. But no, man, look, Jackson State, man, look, I can tell you right now, Imari Matthews is gonna have a nice game in the red zone. Moultrie has been kicking Southern's ass for the past 2 years. Had a big game last year at Baton Rouge, and he's running fourth string right now. Davenport is good in pass road. I'm telling you, I welcome the blitz. You're gonna see a whole different Jackson State offense in this game.
I think you're. I'll say this. I think you're just a tad bit more confident than I.
Well, look, I preface my comments by saying I've seen some things.
I want to show y'all this play, right? Because I was watching a lot of. This is the stuff that Terrenzo Quinn gets. Like this is what makes this defense. When he says not impressed, I'm like, it's impressive, right? It is impressive to a certain extent. Do they have flaws? Absolutely. But the setup of this play to me is just absolutely amazing. Let me just show y'all how much I've been watching. Like I felt like I wasn't doing y'all this. I was doing y'all a disservice because I haven't really been breaking stuff down, right? I need y'all to watch this. This is a post-snap read that not many quarterbacks can make, especially not in the SWAC, right? So when I bring this up, this is third. It's about 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4. Now, if you're looking at this, right? If you're looking at this, you would think at the bottom of your screen, this guy is in man-to-man coverage. You would think that. You see too high, but it's either cover 2 or man-to-man. But the way he's locked in, you would think that this is man-to-man. Watch this post-snap. Safety sliding in. You're like, oh, this man-to-man. But he pushes out. But watch this.
Telltale, watch the cornerback at the top moving back, though. That's your telltale sign.
Listen, he comes off of it. Boom. Like, if this is man-to-man, that's a first down. And it's a great play call. But this is the stuff that you got to worry about when you're dealing with Jackson, is just those little things like that, to where that's a hard read. The person that makes the tackle is sitting in a flat that you didn't expect him to be at, because pre-snap, it looked like man, right? And again, the safeties move so late that you're just like, because again, you got to make these decisions pre-snap and then post-snap, but it's hard to make.
Go back and play it over again, because if you look at the quarterback, he's not looking. After the safeties move, watch the cornerback at the top. Look where he's moving. He's not just moving.
He's drifting. He's drifting. That's where he should have went with the ball. He should have went to the top of the screen, right? Like you got to take that. You get past the screen. You get past the sticks, and you hit this route, right? If it's a hitch, you hit this route. But again, at the bottom of the screen, he comes off of this, and he's sitting right in the zone, to where, again, because he's locked in on this receiver.
Well, he's locked in on the defense.
And he's got it bracketed.
He's locked in on what he saw.
Dog, and they got it. Like, that's the stuff that if he waits a tad bit longer, that's a pick. because he's so hyper focused. And again, that's the stuff Terenzo Quinn gets you on that a lot of people get. That again, there's not a lot of teams running that type of scheme to where they trust their corner to bail out, to lock up, match up, drop into a zone, and make the open field tackle to stop that drive. I mean, that's 3rd and 5. You know what I'm saying? So it's little things like that that when I'm watching, I'm like, hey, that's pretty tough. That's pretty nasty. So again, are there flaws in this defense? Yeah, I think talent-wise in the back end, there's some flaws. I love B.J. Washington. I think he's the best person in that back end, me personally. But you know, just there's some things you can take advantage of. But again, you got to see it, you got to block it up, you got to make the catch, and it's a lot of variables.
I got Jack State rush for over 200 yards, and see that's why I say in no shape, form, or fashion are you running the ball for 200 yards and talking about losing. I think we'll probably have about. Again, I'm not going to say a high number of yards for Jacobian, but I'll say Jackson State as an offensive unit. I can see 250 yards pass tomorrow, but I also can see about 205, 210 rush.
If you get that, this game is not even close, and that's why you get the 42 to 14. I'm like, this game is. But I'm saying though, like, I'm like,
but I'm gonna say this, and. Look, you can clip it, play it on Monday with Mike, or play it with Perry. I'm serious. I said it before the season. I've said it every week. No one will score 21 points on this defense. No one. I said it before the season. I'm saying it every week. Saying Southern Miss, that's a different outlier. No one is going to score 21 points on this defense. And we're giving up 16 point. I forgot what it is a game.
I disagree. I think when you go up against A&M, I think when you go up against Alabama State, when you go up against, I disagree. I think they're better quarterbacks. Like if the quarterback situation was what it was, I would lean to you on that. I'd be like, yeah, I can kind of feel you. But the quarterbacks that are in this league, I think they're just not. They're going to get you. They're going to get 3 touchdowns.
Here's what I think. To your point, I do think the quarterback play, especially in our division, is better, right? But I think here's what I'm saying. I think those quarterbacks will have production, good production. I don't think they score.
Oh, well, hey, listen, you said y'all was gonna go undefeated, so you did.
And let me also say this, because I said this earlier too. I said, and you crazy. I said the toughest game that we have this year was Alabama A&M. I said at the beginning of the season, stay with it the whole time. So A&M was going to be the toughest game in this division. Was it going to be FAMU? Was it going to be Alabama State? It's on wax. And I still stand by it. It's going to be the toughest game.
Listen, we'll see. I think Southern shows a chink in the armor. I really do. I don't think I think it's one of those things to where it's like how Rocky fought the Russian and you make them bleed. Like, I think that's what Southern does. I don't think they come out with the victory, but I think they do show you that you are susceptible, because I don't think this defense is better than last year's defense. I don't. I think Quincy and Nobles would have been unstoppable. Oh my God. Quincy and Nobles on the same team. I don't think that would have been even fair for anybody, right? I think the defense of last year is better than it is this year. And for last year, I think it's better than this year. But I do think Southern, watching some of the players from Southern, and I'll say this.
Before you go, I'll say this. The defense this year, I actually like better than last year. I'll say this. I can't disagree with what you're saying about the defense being better. This is what I mean. This defense moves more as a unit than last year to me. Let me take it back. This defense this year is the best tackling defense we've had in a long time. That's what I mean when I say as a unit. because all 11 go to the ball on this defense, and we tackle from D tackle to safety.
Y'all
That's what I mean.
They tackle. Oh no, they tackle. Oh no, everybody bring the boom. Everybody bring the boom. No pun intended. But this is what bothers me about SWAC play. It's like a lot of stuff is just simply coaching. Like a lot of stuff is simply coaching. Like if Quinn Gray was the head coach of Southern, they put up 21 on y'all, and it's not even close. Like I don't know if they win, but they scored 21 points because they would just schematically put you in situations that dictate to where I can get the ball where I want to get it. Because again, even in the Hampton situation, there were plays missed because they just don't have the quarterback to hit them. He hit a seam ball, BJ Washington, and 3 steps behind. The quarterback threw it 5 yards in front of him. The receiver, just him and Jesus. BJ Washington 3 steps behind, right? Or the Tuskegee with the double pass. Like, I'm like, how do you overthrow that? I never understand. It was nobody around him. It's things like that. And to me, again, you have to attack these linebackers. You have to use the tight end. You have to work them in levels concepts. And again, the levels concept has to look like in a situation to where there's a drag, there's a dig, and then there's a pull.
Those are the defense.
Huh?
All 3 levels of the defense.
All 3 levels of it. Because again, this team is so aggressive. Somebody's going to make a mistake. But again, where Jackson gets you is you got Quincy barreling down. You got Jeremiah Williams barreling down. Can you block it to see the conflict? And if you cannot block it to see the conflict, well, there you go. Right? So it's one of those situations. But I'm going to say this. I like Darren with this quarterback. With the new quarterback, I like Darren Morris to have over 80 yards catching. I like Darren Morris to have that. If they put him in the right circumstances to make plays, the kid is dynamic enough. I've seen enough tape of him. He is dynamic enough to cause you trouble. But what I would not do is I would not put him on the edges. I would work him. I would put him in the slot, and I would work him into the middle of the field. I would do those things to make him more dynamic. But yeah, that's my 2 cents. I think he has 80 yards. I think he has over 80 yards catching, 80 yards receiving.
You want to make a wager?
Yeah, we can make a wager on that. We can bet $1 on that. I don't have a problem with that.
I bet you he won't get 80 yards.
He get 80 yards. He get 80 yards. The issue is, see, what worries me is he's talented enough to get 80 yards. It's the play calling, man. Like that's the stuff. Like it's like I used to say last year, right? Like, or the year before last, I'm like, man, this is like when Dooley was coaching. I'm like, man. And no, Grambling, the Grambling year when he was with Dooley, that when he was with Mickey Joseph the first year. And I was like, hey, I really like Grambling. And then Perry would be like, but Dooley's the OC. I'm like, shit, yeah, that's fair. Like, so it makes you readjust what you're thinking. And that's the same way I feel about Southern.
I'm not even saying it because of that. I think that I'm willing to go on the limb and say I believe Southern's probably going to throw the ball a little bit more than normal tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Not that they're going to go air crazy. It's not what I'm implying, but I'm pretty much going to record to know they're going to throw the ball a little bit more tomorrow than what they had previously this year, right? And I'm just saying, so with that in mind, I'm still going to say he won't get 80 yards. Quinn has Jack State defense has a good game plan for tomorrow. I would say that.
Okay. Cal, coming to you.
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
What's up?
Hey, something I was thinking about. Well, first of all, fuck them people in Baton Rouge.
Sound good when you see it.
Is Quinn essentially head coach material, or does he think he needs a couple more years in development?
If I'm Quinn, I don't just take any old job. You can see that with Alcorn and Cedric. Like you just can't take any old job. I think if I wouldn't take the UAPB job, I would not take the Alcorn job. I wouldn't take those jobs. I think you have to wait until the right opportunity comes about. If I was him, I wouldn't mind taking the Morgan State job. I wouldn't mind taking the Bethune-Cookman job because it's in Florida. I wouldn't mind doing that. But UAPB and Alcorn, no, I wouldn't do that.
I gotta be honest. I'm never good at questions like this. I'm gonna tell you why. I think Quinn. I think because all coaches, for the most part, I know some of our football lifers, and some coaches are just better at coordinators. So I know where we're gonna go with that.
Yeah,
it's a hard question for me to answer because I typically, when asked about who should be hired, I go solely on a prolonged resume because, like, if it, it's progression within it, right? But I look at Quinn, who again I've gotten to know, is a damn good coach. He's a damn good football coach. He's a football guy. But again, he's only been a coordinator for what? This is second season. So you see what I'm saying? So to sit there and say, hey, do I see him as a head coach? Now some people say, yeah, he's doing good here. That don't mean because you're good at that's going to go to success on that. And that's the same thing for an OC. Been OC for 2 years. I can't just sit there and say, yeah, go hire him. He put up 2 good offenses. So I never do well with that. Typically, when it's a resume, for example, Quinn's been a DC and they've been doing something, it's like, okay, but I see the interaction with him and who he's probably tied to, because okay, he's a DC. To your point, Scotty, if I'm bringing in the DC as a head coach, then damn it, what your defense needs to be good, right? So I know worst case scenario, if he's going to be a head coach, his defense should be good. Now, what is he going to surround him staff wise? Then I could be like, okay, I think it'd be a good hire, because what you guys don't know, and typically when you're hiring a coach, that's typically the next thing you talk about. Who are you bringing with you? And that's the thing to say, okay, you know what? I think we want him now, because by getting him, we'll get this and this could work. It's too early to know that on a young coordinator. So that's why I say I can't really answer that. I don't even like questions like that, but he's a damn good coach. I can tell you that just from personally being around.
I think my point, and I go back to what Zo said, and I like him as a head coach because for me, I don't mind young guys. Like, I think young guys should get more opportunities to try to see, especially in the SWAC, to where he's not a recycle guy, right? Like if Cedric got his opportunity at UAPB and then they thought he could do the same thing at Alcorn, he's not doing it. But to me, I think Cedric deserves, I think Terenzo Quinn damn sure deserves an opportunity to be a head coach if that's his aspiration. But again, if he doesn't have a great staff, because again, Terenzo Quinn could move up in FBS and Power 5 or G5 just off his coordinating alone. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He's just that good. But if he decides to be a head coach, you just can't take any old job. I keep telling, like, people call me, some coaches, y'all can say whatever y'all want. Some of these coaches call me and be like, Scotty, what do you think about this job? I'm like, why would you take that? Like, you just gonna make your record look bad. Like, when you just keep losing, it don't make sense to me. But go ahead, Kyle.
So another question. Mm-hmm. If something goes out there and loses by, like, let's say Zo score 42-14, I know they got to be getting votes to be in that freaky 5. I mean, jump off 5, right?
Well, they jump off for sure.
No. Scotty know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, the jump off.
I know you're talking about the Jack State jump off.
Yeah.
Nah, it's too early for that.
Yeah, it's just a little too early because you got teams that's still winless. So,
and also, know that Southern still can win some games. There are some other teams who the max is going to be 1 win. Southern's going to get some more wins.
Nobody want to be on that jump off list.
but I want to touch this too. Okay, go ahead.
Well, thinking about something you said, Scotty, about running levels concepts. Something I don't see a lot in SWAC play, at least not anymore. I don't see a lot of defensive tackles, doing a lot of zone blitzes. Defensive ends doing a lot of zone blitzes.
You must have won Jack State.
A lot of prowling and skimming at the line of scrimmage. I don't see a lot of this is from our SWAC HBCU across the board. I don't see people moving around a lot. Because if you're moving around on defense, the front wise, you got to confusing the offensive linemen's blocking schemes up. I don't see enough of that. What do you think about that?
You must not be watching Jackson State.
Yeah, Jackson does a lot of stunts. They drop, they buzz. Yeah,
Quincy Ivers.
He drops in the coverage
a lot
on third down a lot.
Well, we need to rush him more.
this is Jackson State.
Yeah, so but I get what you're saying in HBCU term. Again, you got to have the bodies to do it. You got to have the IQ to do it. You gotta have the players that can, like, I'm not gonna do a stunt if I don't got the players to do it. Now, do I think that some of it is coaching? Because again, if I'm doing a tackle, a TE stunt, right, to where it's a tackle in the end, well, my tackle has to push down and kick out, so I can get my DN can wrap around and do it accordingly, right? But are you doing it that way? Are your D tackles good enough to press the pocket in those forms and fashions? I just think sometimes it could be a mixture of coaching, and then sometimes I think, do you have the talent to do it?
I'm gonna add a third layer to that.
What I mean by pound understanding, I don't mean by post snap. It's like pre-snap. You lining up an A gap, you keep moving the B gap, you keep moving in, tight. This is probably you giving the illusion that you might be blitzing or sending pressure, and you're not.
I get what you're saying. Where you show 6 and then you drop. Like, I don't see that a lot. You're right. I don't see those looks a lot, which I would like to, because with these young,
but you don't get a lot of that in the college game though as much.
Well, Southern Miss did it. Southern Miss did it a few times.
No,
Zo, you're muted. You're muted.
Hey, I'm gonna get off the call. I'll still keep listening though.
Good, I appreciate it. Think your battery died or something. Say something. Nah, I can't hear you. Let me see it. Nah, I still can't hear you. Mm-mm. No, I can't hear you. Come out, go out, and come back in. Somebody says Southern hack. Thanks, Bishop. T, you know what I'm saying? Stunt. I'm not a defensive guy, so bear with me. I know a little something, but I'm not a defensive guy. But yeah, I mean, I think that'd be a great look. Show cover zero, show all out blitz, bring an all out blitz every now and again. Maybe buzz a D tackle or drop a D in underneath, the field side or on the boundary side or whatever you want to do. But I think I would like to see more of that, but I don't think there's a lot of defenses that know how to run it, nor do they want to run it, because I think a lot of coaches are on the mindset of a bend, don't break type of style, to where they don't want to give up the big play and don't want to take the risk of giving up the big play. The watch party is at 3:00 for Alabama State, and for Jackson it's at 6. Dang, Zo, where you at, Brody? Let me see. We ran a lot with Zay and Land. I bet. That's true. And plus, you got to get there. Yeah, I mean, if you send an all-out blitz, you definitely got to get there. Again, I want to be honest. Like, I had to really go back and watch Southern, right? Like, because again, you can watch a game, but sometimes when you're watching a game on TV, you're kind of like just going through the motions. But when you're watching it on replay and you could really break it down, Southern has talent. Trey Holly is talented. Mike White is talented. Trey Holly looked good against Fresno State. They did a couple things defensively. They looked bad against Fresno State. Fresno State just had them all type of ways, upside down, turned around, flipped inside out defensively. But offensively, they looked pretty decent. And the wide receivers of Southern made some pretty tough contested catches. You just need that in this Jackson State game, and you need a good scheme. You need a good scheme to where Ashton gets comfortable and he gets going in the game. And again, that could be quick routes, that could be screens, tunnel screens, it could be, spot routes, hitches, whatever you want to do. You just got to get it going early. It's never as bad as it looks, or it's never as good as it looks. That's fair. If there were an HBC to move FBS, do it and would be able to last. I think it would be able to last. I think that I hate to say this. I think Willie Simmons could have been FIU or FAU. Like the way Willie Simmons was building the team, I think if Willie Simmons would have stayed at FAMU, they could have been a FAU or FIU. The way he was building it, the talent that he was getting. I think he's able to turn that team into a FBS program. Who else? From what I know about PV, the way that their funding is, that they are able to do that as well. PV could be able to do that based off the funding that they get from the A&M system, as well as being in Texas and the facilities that they have. And I think last but not least, I think you could say Jackson. I just don't think they have the budget for it, but you could say Jackson because of, one, the stadium, two, of the attendance, and then three, how Coach O and them are recruiting. I think, them being in the Sun Belt could be a possibility. And then it's also a recruiting tool when you say that, right? So if FAMU had moved into like where the Conference USA, if FAMU moved into Conference USA, I think with Willie Simmons, I think they could have done something. Alabama State, with their stadium, absolutely. I just don't with their new defensive coordinator, hell no. With their old defensive coordinator, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, with their old defensive coordinator, absolutely. I think they could have made that work. Who else? Yeah, that's all I got for you. Most impressive SWAC team so far. What's up?
There we go.
There you go. Real quick, Zo, most impressive SWAC team so far.
Alabama State. No, Alabama A&M.
Okay, that's fair. Can you fix the poll? Can you fix your team? Question. I mean, you giving a question. I'm giving a question. Can you fix your team? Maybe I can fix the poll. When you figure that out, you come let me know. Most impressive coach so far.
Shade.
I gotta go with Tremaine. I gotta go with Tremaine. I think because the expectation and the winning has been somewhat on the same path. I think it's impressive because they came in, they've changed the culture, they've changed the style of play, they've changed the energy behind it. Yeah, I would have to go because again, I think Sam Shade has done a really good job at A&M, but defensively he hasn't at all. It's not to the putridness of Maynard, but it ain't much better. They're giving up a lot of yards and giving up a lot of points. So, but I think the most impressive thing that he did was the shutout of Tennessee State in the second half. That was impressive.
I agree.
But
I'd be remiss. I got to talk about that first drive against Arkansas.
It was a beauty. It was a thing of beauty. It looked. I'm telling you. And I told some of the coaches that I talked to over there. I said the whole game against Arkansas, and we're gonna close it up pretty soon because I know you gotta get on the road. But the most impressive thing about the Arkansas game is they never looked overwhelmed.
Yeah,
they looked like they just
they belong.
They look like they belong. They never looked overwhelmed. They never looked like you're like, just damn, they getting beat on. Like
they were just the better. Arkansas was just a better team.
Arkansas was just a better team. Yeah. It never looked like they were just overwhelmed to where like Fresno State and Southern, that was an overwhelming. Like they just is like, we're just better than you. Like, why are you out here with us? Like it was just like a track meet. It was crazy, but now the A&M and Arkansas game, they looked like they belonged. They just weren't. I mean, it's Arkansas. What you want them to do with that? You know what I'm saying? So, final thoughts, Zo, before we get up out of here.
Well, hold on. Before we get to the final thought, I just wanted to bring this back up to was on the phone with the guy he mentioned about the coach. I want to bring this point home, and that is, to your point you mentioned about, getting some younger coaches in to add to the point that I was saying earlier about, about resumes, right? Because see, the problem that we all have in life, right, is that we all try to make decisions because we want what? We want guarantees, and no risk it, no biscuit. And so sometimes you have to go off feeling, but also every coaching opportunity, they're different. They're not the same. There's nuances to every job. And so the thing is, to your point, Scotty, sometimes it takes some kahunas to say, you know what, being honest and realistic with our program and where we are and the school, right? And location, all these different variables, and say, I think this is the right path for us to go. We need to go with this young guy. I believe in him. I see something. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And other people may not agree with it because we went with this young white D2 head coach. You see what I'm saying? I'm just giving an example. And I'm not just saying because he's white. I'm just giving an example because at most HBCUs, you're not going to hire a young white coach. So, but my thing is that a lot of times we make decisions because we want guarantees. We want what we feel is, this is a sure thing here, right? I can't miss with this. And that's not always the case. So you have to go against the grain. That's why you commend Ash Robinson for doing what he did with Prime, but then you have other examples of those too. And so again, you got to do your due diligence. And sometimes you have to take inexperience. Fran Brown was never a head coach. He wasn't even a D coordinator and got the Syracuse job. Look what he's doing. So he interviewed. You just gotta, man, what kind of plan do you have? And you know what? I believe him. And sometimes you got to take risks. You got to take a chance. And my thing is, if you were already losing and you're a losing program,
what's the risk?
What's the risk? What's the risk by saying, hey, they did this here, or yeah, they'll definitely do it here. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes they may be true, but again, you have to, if I'm a Pine Bluff, guess what? I can take a risk. I just had somebody who was here for 4 years and they didn't do anything. So guess what? If I get somebody that's young, I mean, the worst they can do is the dude who I just let go. That's the worst they could do. I'm serious. So I just wanted to add that point to it. But final thoughts, man. Listen, this is a big weekend, man. I'm so happy, bro. I'm gonna have my cell phone like lit watching games while I'm in Jiggy City down there with them swamp cats. That's what we call them, swamp cats down there. You know what I'm saying? On campus. And man, like I said, man, y'all pull up on me tonight. I'm gonna be at the Battle of the Bands. Not too much now, because I'm be with my old lady, and she a tiger too, and she fight. Not, you know what I'm saying? And I fight for her too. But nah, man, look, I used to live in BR. I'm gonna get up with shout out Kelbo, shout out Ryan, man. I've spent 6 years down there. I got plenty of people, a lot of Southern man, my friends. Shout out BJ Jones, he ain't coming. You know what I'm saying? But it's a big weekend this weekend, bro. So I'm looking forward to meeting all my Southernites down there, bro. And we come to kick your ass. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get a little boudin, a little crawfish, kick your ass, and then eat some more. And don't head on back to Jackson.
Yeah, my final thoughts, and I want to go back to the coaching thing real quick before we get up out of here. Somebody said, Valley went with the young guy, and again, it's about fit, right? Like I remember when T-Buck was in contention, and he said he would be a great fit. Why? Because he's from the Delta. He understands the area. He's a product of the area. So who wouldn't want to go find those gyms from the area and put on for Valley? You know what I'm saying? And have the fortitude. And then he had the background. He coached in the UFL. He's coached at these other programs and stuff like that. So you want that type of notoriety as well. But I do think that there's not enough D2 coaches being moved up to D1. That is my issue, because Kamaji was one. A lot of the Pete Richardson or another, like a lot of these old school coaches, they matriculated through the system because, again, you got to go through some headaches and turmoil to understand what it's like to coach at an HBCU. And to come from a D2 where they don't have all the resources and you come up to a D1 where they have a little bit better resources, it just makes you that much more better at your job, right? So looking at the Ferris States, with Sam Parker, looking at the Lenore Ryans.
You just took my point. I was going to say, I want to say this. To your point, I'll go say, because when you say D2 coaches, let's keep it a buck, bro. They only go where?
HBCU.
SIAC.
Yeah,
CIAA. So my thing is, to your point, get out of that.
Yeah.
Use the whole entire country. It's a resource. Use it. Go get an unknown coach that said that's what Washington did when they got old boy Kalen DeBoer. He came from Wisconsin, the D3 head coach, and was kicking ass. Got to Washington, moved up. You got to have some foresight like that. To your point, man, guess what? It could be a badass coach, even a black one, out in freaking Washington State. You know what I'm saying? The pool is big, man. You got to do your due diligence, man. Get out there. I don't want to steal your thunder, but you was bringing my point.
You're making a great point. And when you say a national search, I'm tired of seeing 10 black names. Come on, man. Like, we know there ain't no national search. You literally playing your homeboy. Hey, give me the 10 top black coaches in HBC. That's not a national search. No. Far from it, right? You got to go get some white guys in there just to see, hey, bring them in for an interview. Can you deal with this culture? Can you deal with this pressure? What is your plan? What are you trying to bring here? Have you researched my team to see our deficiencies and our faults and what we could do well and who you could keep on and all these type of things? Can you do that? And that's the point. Mr. Sargent, coming to you real quick.
Hey, Scotty, what's up, sir?
What's going on?
It's going well. What's up, Zo?
What's going on?
Listen, got a question. I know you said this, Scotty, but my question is about the Alabama State game. So let's look at two scenarios. Scenario number one, FAMU loses by a lot. You believe Cozy is fired? Is he fired that day, or does he play the rest of the play? Does he coach the rest of the season? And then scenario two is the opposite. FAMU loses 34-35. Is he still fired? And how does that work out? I'd love to hear from both of you.
I think if he loses, he's fired. I think if he loses bad, he might be let go quicker than. I don't think they let him go like in the middle of the season. I think it has to be really, really bad for them to let him go in the middle of the season. But I think if he loses this game 35-34, if he loses this game 16-17, if he loses this game 1-2, he's going to get fired at the end of the season. That's just my personal opinion. Hey, listen, Cozy will find a way. What you got, Zo?
I don't believe he'll be fired at any point during the season, no matter what happens. Just because typically most of the time you get that if Cozy is like in year 3 and year 4 and he's been losing, then they'll fire him in the middle of the season. It's year 2. So I just think, like to Scotty's point, I just think whether it's a blowout or a close game, I think the feeling and around the program is that they're pretty much not happy with the decision that they made, and they're pretty much going to look to move elsewhere in a different direction at the end of the season.
Got it. So then that brings me to this question. FAMU wins 2-1. FAMU wins by 1 point or whatever or more. Is it he's safe, his job is good, or we go to the next week?
Next week.
Still, okay, if he loses this one,
week by week,
he's going to be fired.
He's a week by week coach. Because again, if I'm the AD, this is your perfect season. All your big games are at home. You're a home team. You can't ask for anything else. And I'm gonna keep saying it's a FAMU team that you got left a Porsche and now it's sitting on bricks. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me, and it shouldn't be this difficult. When I'm so serious, like Zo over here busted out laughing, but I'm so serious because I'm looking down the street and a guy who got gutted his whole team is winning the national championship and winning conference championships when you were left a Porsche and now it's sitting on bricks. No, I'm not cool with that. So you're on a week to week basis. Like, what's that thing they do in corporate world? Like when they write you up or you on probation, like he on probation. He in his probationary period.
He's on a performance probation.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Week to week.
But it's one thing. It's one thing you guys had mentioned. That's the one thing that's really working against Cozy. I'll pin a question. Who's FAMU AD right now?
Miss Angela Suggs.
I thought that she, you know what I'm saying, resigned.
Suggs.
So the thing is,
she's taking a leave of absence, take care of some legal.
That's what I'm about to say. She's taking a leave of absence. So that's not good in his favor. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because she's not there, and also she wasn't his guy. She just came in.
Facts.
So that's the point that I'm getting at. The nature of that's what I'm saying. The energy around the program, they're not happy right now. And so if quite a few people have their way, no matter what happened, it's like he's going to the end of the season. So I don't really think it matters whether he wins or loses at this point, unless he just goes unscathed the rest of the season and makes it to the SWAC championship game. I don't see him being back on the highs of Seven Hills next year.
Wow. So you mean so was it the Howard game or the Valley game last year? I'm
Both.
Still suffering from that one.
I think it's a multitude and a myriad of reasons.
Okay. Wow. Good insight, brothers. As always, thank you so much. I appreciate the time and the call. And hey, Zo, good luck, man. Do you? You know what? Nightmare scenario. Do you think DSU will find itself in the Celebration Bowl against Jackson State?
They have a legitimate. I'll say this. This is not coy. They have a legitimate shot to get there. I don't think they do in year one. Just off the strength of what it is year one. But damn, they got a good shot to do it.
All right. Well,
and the fact that I'm even saying that, right? The fact that I'm even saying they got a good shot.
The thought of it is what is the amazing part of it.
Exactly. The thought of it. That's what I was gonna say. Are you sweating underneath that D cap, brother?
No, man. I have hope.
All right, I'll let y'all go. Thank you so much.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Call, Mr. Sergeant. Listen, I'm closing the call lines down, guys. Appreciate y'all for calling in, Cal and Mr. Sergeant. I'll say this, and if you haven't watched that Dallas Cowboy,
bro, it's good.
So good. Okay,
it's good.
It's so good. Jerry Jones, the gambler, right? So good. Listen, if I'm Miss Suggs, if I'm AD at FAMU, I'm Jerry Jones in this thing. 99 coaches could coach this team. Okay, that's how I feel. It's not. Listen, bro, the team, FAMU is just a talented team. Now, quarterback-wise, they are not. But at the end of the day, overall, it's not hard to get.
That's his doing. That's his doing, though.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, right? So, again, it all falls back on him doing it his way and trying to get his guys, and his guys just don't look as good. I'm just keeping a buck with you. And I got word that Malik Huggins was supposed to go to FAMU, but they dropped that recruit. I said, that's fireable in itself.
Wow.
If Malik Huggins is a FAMU guy, like he's that FAMU type of receiver that they don't have right now. Like you could talk about all the guys, but none of them guys make waves like Malik Huggins could have if he was a FAMU guy. That is a true definition of FAMU wide receiver. He is a rack boy. These guys they got now, they just all right. They just all right. Maybe the quarterback makes them look bad, but
ain't getting no rack. Ain't getting no rack. I tell you that.
Ain't getting no rack. I ain't seeing no rack boys. Yes. Malik Huggins was being recruited by AC, the former wide receiver coach, to FAMU. Once he left, the recruitment fell through, and that's how he got to Bethune-Cookman.
Well, yeah, man, and so the one thing that we can also say, man, it's just certain programs. You know, you talk about Southern, you talk about Grambling, you talk about Jack State, you talk about FAMU. That job comes open. It's going to be some great, even more so FAMU, because you talk about the quality of coaches that come out just with ties to Florida, right? That's actually going to be there, and that's why it's mind-boggling. To your point that you mentioned even earlier, Scotty, about who you hire. It's easy to fire somebody, but it's like some of the decisions that we make and some of the coaches that we choose and why we choose them is really, really crazy.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna ask this. I'm gonna get out the way and let you answer it. if Florida fires Billy Napier, does FAMU go get Billy? Because what he did at ULM, I mean,
ULL.
What he did at ULL,
they were a monster.
I saw sometimes certain levels aren't for you, but if Billy Napier comes available, is that somebody you look to go get? Because he's getting paid, he gonna have positive.
Well, I can tell you right now, he'll be a hot commodity. I can assure you that. But still, he gonna have to tell me no. Nothing from nothing, leave nothing. He gonna have to tell me no. I would give it a go. But see, but my point is, we don't have the foresight to go after a Fran Brown because we got to have these tailor-made resumes. Sometimes, man, you just see it. I interviewed him. I've been around this kid. All of our coaches, bro, go to these conventions. I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret. Don't think that these coaches in the SWAC aren't tied to FBS programs and know these other coaches. They got relationships with a lot of coaches that y'all don't think that they do. Trust me when I tell you. So the point that I'm getting at is the issue with the SWAC, it be the ADs, bro. And sometimes the presidents want to get in and interfere, or there's some schools, hey man, the street committee gonna have a say-so on who we gonna get. And that be that bull jive. Because there's a lot of guys, even a lot of damn good black coaches, bro, that's readily available. Because I'm gonna run you with this. Why in the hell ain't nobody came yet to KJ Black? I'm gonna tell you why. He got to do this. He got to do this because this is the way that we've always done it. You see what I'm saying? There are plenty of coaches out there in the NFL right now on the FBS level, D2 level, but we go about it the same way every time. Every time. Seriously. Man, I'm going to say this also, man. Being a part of the process when TC came in, you know what I'm saying, showed me a lot of different things that I didn't know firsthand. And that's what opened my eyes to the point what you just said. I'm gonna give you a name, and I hate to even say this, but I'm gonna tell you who'll be good. I'm gonna tell you who'll be a damn good candidate in the SWAC. And yes, it's a white coach, but I'm a fan of his. I'm gonna tell you, Will Hall. Will Hall be a damn good coach.
BJ talks about him
all the time. Will Hall, let me tell you, his dad is a legend in Mississippi. Will Hall, he's I think the quality control coach at Tulane right now, but he was the OC at Tulane, but he was the head coach at West Alabama. He was the head coach at West Georgia, went to the semifinals in the playoffs, I think 2 or 3 years, and West Georgia sucked ass, right? I'm saying his offense, where he was the OC at Tulane, damn good coach. But he's young, bro. He's like 41. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, damn good coach. And I'm not making it about race because he's just the first thing that came to mind because, I thought BJ talked about me. I talked to him about it with BJ as well. But what I'm saying is you have young coaches like that, bro. No, he didn't work out in Southern Miss. I would have been going. Ain't no way in hell he would have made Tulane if I'm an AD. I'm reaching out to that dude.
Yeah.
Think about it. He's in the SWAC footprint. Recruiting his ass off of Southern Miss, got ties to Mississippi and Louisiana and Alabama. SWAC footprint, bro. So I'm saying you have that all, man, I'm telling you, you got, that's why I even told you about Chris Jones. He's the head coach at Hines right now. Hines sucked ass last year. They're undefeated right now. TC's teammate, wide receiver at Jack State, kicked ass in high school in Mississippi, just won a state championship in Starkville. I'm telling y'all, you better go after him, dog. I'm telling you. But you got several coaches like that. I'm only speaking of Mississippians because I'm here. But you got some guys like that in Louisiana, in Texas, in Florida. But we don't go after them. We want the same tried and true. Oh, he ain't never been a head coach. Man, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. We did that with so-and-so. But it's who you did and why you did. It's got to be fit because it's not about, oh, we were losing last year. We're trying to get another coach. Let's just go get a winner. Every school got variables that make them different, bro. TC wouldn't be winning at Pine Bluff right now. Look, that's my coach. That's my coach. TC would not be having the same success at Pine Bluff that you have in Jack State. We could venture to say that right now.
Yeah.
All things are relevant, bro. So we have to make different decisions if we want to change the product in regards to upping the pedigree. Because here's another thing. After this season, how many coaches think gonna be gone? Because it's a young coaching league in this government.
Bethune's gone. UAPB should be gone.
Southern.
Mickey's gonna leave. Southern's gonna leave.
That's 4 jobs.
That's 4 jobs.
So watch this. Now add to the coaches that's new from last year. Do you realize in 2 years, all the coaches saying only Eddie Robinson and TC will be new?
That's crazy.
In the past 2 years after this season, every coach, it's 12 teams in this league now. That means it's been 10 new coaches in this conference, except TC and Eddie Robinson.
That's crazy.
And guess what? It's going to be watch, rinse, repeat when it comes to the hires.
That's sad. That's sad. We're going to get up out of here. You get on the road. I got to get going as well. Listen, guys. Hey, again, watch party, 3 o'clock, Alabama State, FAMU, and 6 o'clock, Southern Jackson State, man. It's going to be a barn burner. Listen, until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to holler. God bless.